Hi everyone and welcome back to the Daredevil Python machine learning library series. And in this video, we're going to building a automated data analysis applications using Python and Streamlit. So पिछले ट्यूटोरियल में हम ब्लैक फ्राइडे डेटासेट को बहुत अच्छी तरीके से एक्सप्लोर किया था. So which one is nothing but the project number 1. Now this is the project number 2 where you're going to building the applications. So using the application, we can do some analysis on the data, see the property of the data, and also do some visualizations. So without wasting any time, Har Har Mahadabal ka start karte tutorial. So first what I'm going to do, I am simply going to import here the Streamlit and also importing the data analysis library that is available inside the Python. So let's say I'm going to import here the Streamlit as st. So Streamlit is nothing but a library in Python. Using this, you can creating here the web application without using the HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So which one is more useful when you're trying to building any machine learning model, right? For the development purpose, right? Then I'm going to import here all the EDA library that is actually available inside the Python. And you already know about that. And I already make the videos about that. What is the pandas and what is the NumPy. Okay, let's say I'm going to import here the pandas as PD. Then I'm going to import here the NumPy as NP. Then I'm going to import here the matplotlib. So matplotlib lib.pyplot as plt. Then I'm going to import here the Seaborn. Let's say I'm going to import here the Seaborn as SNS. Import Seaborn. Seaborn. Okay, Seaborn hoga, right? Seaborn as SNS. Fine. Then what I'm going to do, I am simply going to the aggregations of that. I'm just going to simply using here some matplotlib by default floating types. Let's say I'm going to use here your matplotlib dot use so that our application looks much better. So let's say agg. Okay, this is nothing but my types of that how the graph is looks like. For that, I also import here the matplotlib, just matplotlib. You can see here this is the pyplot and this is nothing but a matplotlib. For just for the styling purpose, I'm going to using the matplotlib.use as the aggregations. So those are the library for the EDA, and this is the library for building the web applications for the development purpose. Now what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to create here a function. Let's call def main, and inside this function, I'm trying to make it right now pass. Okay, pass. Then what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to call it. Let's say if name equal to main. So it's also suggest me. Okay, let's say name equal to main, name equal to main. I'm just going to simply calling these functions. So let's say main. Then I'm simply going to call in this function. Let's call the main functions. Okay. So now the question is, how can you run in these applications? See, this command line is quite different. So if I go on here and go on the terminal, new terminal, and I need to type here a command that's called not Python. I need to use here the streamlit run and your file name main.py, and it will run in this application on your local website, or not a website, actually local browsers, right? So you can see here it will running up and down, and in a few seconds it will open in these uh, applications, right? You can see here the application is opening. Okay, let's close this one, WhatsApp, and also another one. And you can see local host, it's running in the local host 8501, and you can see running, right? So well, you can see here it is running up and down, and you can see mate with the Streamlit, but it don't have any features. I mean, any tags here. So what I can do, you can simply going to add here some text. Let's say I'm going to add here two activities. I'm going to do the EDA, the exploratory data analysis, and also the plotting. So for that, what we're going to do, I'm simply going to create here one activity list. So activities, that's activities, and I am trying to put it inside the list. Let's call EDA. So when I select the EDA from my drawer, and it can do the EDA or the exploited data analysis of the data. And let's say I have another things that's called the plots. So when you select the plots, we can we can actually select some plot like area plot or the bar plot or the pie plot, whatever plot it's available inside these activities, you can select it from here. So let's say what I'm going to do, I am simply going to choices from the one side box as a select box. So what I can do, I can do using the st dot sidebar, because this is in my sidebar of the application. If I go on the applications, in this sidebar, I'm trying to create here one drop down button where we have the EDA and also plot. So when I select the EDA, we can see the data set in Explorer, where let's it have the how many column it have, or the correlation matrix, all of them, right? So then what I can do, I'm going to give here the select box. So let's say select box, this one. Now inside the select box, I'm going to give here one command that's called the select activity, like that. Select activities. And also one more thing, when you're actually building the applications, you can also open this, you can also run these applications, it will automatically actually saving all the files. Then what I can do, I'm simply going to giving here my activities, just going to pass my activities, and let's make it inside one variable that's called choice, right? Choices, like this way. Let's save it and go on here, and you can see here, and it also rerun. Better you can go on here and go on the settings, it having one settings, and when you run on save, it will automatically run in this application. So and it also reloaded right now. So when you reload it, it will run in the application, and in the sidebar you can see here EDA and also on float. See, you can see EDA and the float. So now when you select the EDA, we have one box for uploading the dataset, and there's some property like it having how many column it have, or the show the data frame also, right? So for that, what I can do, you can simply go on here and select the choices from here. So let's say if the choices equal to, let's say EDA. Just say I am select the choice as EDA. Then one actually uh, one actually what is called actually upload button actually happening up. Let's say I'm trying to uploading here one data set. So let's say inside my folder it have a data set called the training.csv. I'm trying to uploading this data set, right? Just going to creating here an upload button, right? So what I can do, it can simply give here one subheader. Let's say st.subheader. Okay, subheader, and I'm going to give here, let's say, okay, its choice is equal because this is the boolean, right? When you select the choice is equal subheader, right? Then I'm going to give here, let's say EDA, or you can say exploratory data analysis, exploratory. Okay, it's go be the Tori. Okay, Tori data analysis. Okay, fine. Now what I can do now, we can simply upload here one file. So for that, let's say data equal to st dot file uploader, simple file uploader, and I'm going to give here, let's say upload a data set. So upload a data set. Then what I can do, I'm simply going to give here some type, that how many type you are going to upload the data set. So upload the data set maybe in the CSV file, or maybe the Excel file, or the TXT file. Let's say give you the TXT file right now. Okay. So now I need to check that if the data is null or not. I mean, when you don't select any data, so why should it give you some property of the data? So it's not none. Okay, none. It's not none. That's when you have the data. Then what I can do, you can simply read it. So let's say pd dot read csv, pd dot read csv, right? Read csv. Then what I can do, I'm going to simply pass my data, and then I'm going to also show it inside my Streamlit application. So for that, I'm going to use here st dot the data frame, and inside this data frame, I'm going to pass here my df dot head. Fine. Well, okay. So that's it. It's now loading the data. So if I'm trying to save it now and go on my applications, and if I reload it, okay, if I reload it, then what will happen, you can see here the exploratory data analysis and upload a data set. Then what I'm going to do, I am simply going to upload here a file. Let's click on the browse file, and let's select this one, train.csv. If I click on open, it will upload in the file, and you can see running, and our data set is loaded as a data frame. Okay, data set is loaded as just like a data frame. See how cool is it, right? So you can see all the data frame, all the data, right? That's really cool, and you can see the UI is much more better. Okay, so now we can add some property, like we can see the shape of the data, we can see the correlations between the data, we can select some column on the data, you can see the summary of the data, you can see the KD, I mean the description of the data, you can see the information regarding the data. So you can do that. So let's say go on here and try to add here some checkbox. So let's say if st dot checkbox. Okay, checkbox, just adding one checkbox. So when you select the checkbox, then you can actually see the, let's see the shape. So let's say I'm going to see the shape, show shape, and inside that I'm going to show the shape of the data. So in order to getting the shape of the data, simply I'm going to using the st.write, and I'm going to pass here st.write df dot shape, just like that, just like the pandas, right? So now what I can do, we can copy this out. So let's say I'm going to see the shape of the data. I'm going to see the data shape. Let's say data info. So let's say info. Okay, and I'm going to checking for, let's say, copy. I'm going to checking for the, let's say I'm going to checking for the description. So let's say describe. Okay, that's it. I'm going to select save all the file and go on the tab. Go on the applications and reload it. Then you can see here, okay, there are multiple checkbox widget are the same generate key. So let's go on here and see what happened. Okay, info. Okay, it's the describe, show describe. That's why. Save it now and go on here again and try to reload the applications. Right? Okay, now it's loading. You can show shape, the show informations, the show descriptions. If I click at the browser file, now select the train.csv and our file is loaded. So let's click on here, show shape, and you can see the shape of the data. It have 81 columns, right? Let's show informations. Okay, none. Show describe. You can see the describe, it is describe the data. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's really fine. I think info don't have, it's not like functions. I think so. df.info, I think like that. Okay, let's run this now. And you can see just like the count and the mean and also standard deviations and 25% percentile, 50% percentiles, all of them showing up, right? Okay, show shape, the show informations. Okay, it's information regard. Okay, it's showing the data frame informations. Okay, no problem. We can remove this out, no problem. The data describe, and you can see here it actually describe the data count, the mean, standard deviations, mean, the maximum value, the 25%, the 50%, and the 75% percentile. Okay, so let's remove it now. I don't need it right now. Okay, fine. We see the description of the data. Now let's say I'm going to select some column. For particular column, just I'm going to select here some column from the data set and I'm trying to show it, right? So for that, what I can do, we can simply create here another checkbox. Let's see if, okay, why should it make it caps lock? Caps lock ये हो जाता है भाई, checkbox लगाता है, लगा दो भाई सब, लगा दो यहाँ से. So let's say I'm trying to show some column. So let's say show column देखते हैं, right? So to getting, show the columns, so what I can do, we can using here the all the column in a list. So let's say df.columns dot to list okay, list कर लिया. इसके बाद क्या करेंगे आपको, we can simply passing all the column, let's say all column inside the variable, just like that, basics one. So now I'm going to do the coding first. मुझे first करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि tutorial तो लंबा हो जाएगा इसलिए. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to st.write. Then I'm going to pass in here my all the columns. Okay, so using this, when you select the show columns, it will show all the properties that is actually available inside your data set, and you also describe our data. Now what I can do, let's say I'm going to select some columns on that. Let's say I'm going to select the sales type or the sales price or the sales condition columns. Then it will show me another kind of data set, just one selected data frame. So for that, what I can do, we can simply, you can also check that the just dividing the data set in some columns or row. So let's say st.checkbox, just like that, checkbox, and I'm going to give here. Okay, I'm going to give here. Okay, इसको और छोटा करते हैं. Okay, चला गया. Okay, no problems. If I go on the terminal again, so let's say new terminal, and you can see here it running also, right? Okay, no problem right now. Okay, so then what I can do, we can simply give here the show selected column. So when you using the show column, it will show you all the column that is available inside your data frame. Then let's say show column. I'm going to select some column from the data set. So let's say st.multiset. Okay, multi-select and multiple select. So let's say I'm going to give here, that's a select columns. Okay, columns. Okay, then inside that I'm going to pass here my all columns. So all columns, this one, this all columns. Now let's say selected column, just like the variables columns. So st.multi-select, just selecting the multiple columns. Then I'm going to select all the column inside my data frame. So let's say df, and inside that I'm going to pass here my selected column. Then I'm going to pass it. Let's say this is nothing but my new data frame, new df. Okay. Then simply going to use my st.data frame. So in order to show the data frame, so data frame, I'm going to pass here my new data frame, new df. It's like that. Save it now. Go on the applications and reload it. Right, reload it, and let's select the data set from here, train.csv. Okay, string limit has no attribute called the checkbox. Okay, checkbox nahi hai. Okay, checkbox ओह भाई स्पीड में कर रहा हूँ शायद इसलिए. ओके, स्लोली जा रहा हूँ, कोई बात नहीं, दिक्कत का. डिलीट कर लिया, डिलीट तो कर लिया. आप सिलेक्ट करो, ट्रेन पे जाओ, ओपन किया. इसका बाद क्या करेंगे, शो शेप, शेप देखा, डिस्क्राइब भी हो चुका है. Show columns, all the columns. Oh my god, there are so many columns, 81 columns inside this data set. Show the selected columns. So choose an option. Let's say select the street. Okay, street, and you can see select the street row column, how it look like. Let's say ID, and also let's say the paid drive, habit drive. So let's select another one. Let's select the sell price. Okay, this is how you can create here a new data set, right? Select the column from there and you can create here a new data set. That's really awesome, right? Is it awesome? Just give a like. Okay, okay, fine. So now what you can do, you can also checking for the value counts. So let's say I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to paste it here, and let's say select the value. Okay, let us show the value count. So what I can do, we can value count, I mean how many value are available. So let's say counts. So you can use the df.ilog. So for that we can do, we can simply use the st.write, and from the data set, let's say df.ilog, I log, just for the last one, just with the last one we can do the value count. I mean all the one you do to all of them. I'm just going to select all of the columns and I'm going to show the value counts. So what I can do, we can simply using the value counts. So let's say counts, just like that, value counts. Okay, so using this one you can actually counting the values. Now let's see the correlation matrix, that how can you plotting the correlation matrix. And you can see this is nothing but information regarding the data. Now we're going to see that how can I do the plotting using the matplotlib and also the streamlit that's available, right? So let's say if the st.checkbox, then inside that, let's say the correlation, so correlation matrix, like that. Okay, correlation matrix. Let's trying to use the correlation matrix using the plt dot matshow, right? Matshow. Then what I can do for the matrix, we can pass here my correlation df.core, the correlation functions, and we can also pass it inside st. So let's say st dot pyplot. That's it. st dot pyplot, and showing this matrix as a correlation matrix. Let's save it now, and let's reload it now again. Okay, and if I click on here, and let's train.csv, and let's say I'm trying to show the correlation matrix. Okay, it's not showing up. Okay, it's showing up, and you can see here the correlation matrix of the data. Okay, it's the subplot. You are calling the st.pyplot without any argument. After December 1st, 2022, we will remove the ability to record using matplotlib figure, which one is not thread safe. For prove this code, you can pass the figure as shown below. So, okay, Scatter just passing here the figure as a subplot. Okay, that's another way you can also do it. So you can see this is the correlation matrix, how the correlation matrix looks like is the matplotlib. So let's say I'm going to do it using the heat map. Okay, let's say do it using the heat map. I'm going to copy this out now. Okay, I'm going to pass it here. Let's say I'm going to do it using the CMON. because using matplotlib is quite looking odd. Let's say do it using the seaborn. Seaborn के मदद से करते हैं. So let's say I'm going to using here the st.write. So let's say st.write, and inside that I'm going to pass here my sns.heatmap. So let's say sns.heatmap. So you already import here the seaborn as SNS, and I'm going to pass here my df.correlations, df.correlations, and let's say make the annotate should be true. So let's say annotate should be true, so that is look the annotated. Okay, then just like the st.pyplot. Okay, let's save it now and go in here, and let's going to reload it. And I'm going to click here to select the file train.csv, and to reload these files, and let's see the seaborn one. Okay, let's see. Okay, no problems. Just give me this kind of error. Okay, it's your work to handle it out, right? Okay, you can see the correlation matrix, all of the column, because there are so many columns are available. So that's why this data set is quite big, right? So let's select another one. It's better we can select another one, right? So click here the browse file, and inside this data set, but this is also quite big. Let's select this one, test.csv. Okay, show the shape, and let's see for the correlation matrix. Okay, now it looks good. You can see the correlation matrix. So let's select also this one. Okay, this one also good. And you can see here it having the correlation matrix with the data set. So let's see the describe the show columns, how many columns are available. It having the 10 columns. So show the value counts. Value counts is also showing up the how many value are available. You can also checking for the missing value. Okay, this is how you can actually plotting also the correlation matrix. Then you can also plot for the pie plotters of that how many data are available inside your data set. So for that you can also do the pie plot. So it's your work to do that how can you do the pie plot also. I mean, for the distribution of the data, how many percentages are available inside the each data frame, right? Now our ed is completed. Now let's checking for the plots. Okay, so for that what I can do, we can check that elif choices. So let's say choices equal to, let's say this is nothing but my plot. So plot like this, plots or plots. Okay, so if it is plots, then what I can do, we can add here one subheader. Let's say st.subheader, and inside this subheader, let's call the data visualization. Let's say data visualizations like that. So let's save it now and check this out. It is really working or not. So let's select here the browse file and test.csv. Then what I can do, we can simply select for the, okay, select for this one plots, and you can see the data visualization. It's also working fine. Well, now we're going to do some analysis on the data. We're going to select here the data on the our file uploader, using the file uploader. Then we can do some visualization on that, right? So now what I can do, we can simply add here one file uploader so that we can upload the file also, just like we do in the EDA part also. So for that, what I can do, we can simply copy this out, this data equal to st.file uploader. I'm just going to copy this out and I'm going to paste it here. Let's paste it. Or you can also add here some another type also, like Excel. If you have the Excel file, you can also read it using the pd.read CSV also, right? So for that, what you can do, you can simply also add it. Let's say xlsx like that. Okay, data. So same things you need to also give here like that for checking that if the data is null or not. Just I'm going to copy this all of the things. Just copy this one also. Copy this one, and I'm going to paste it here. So if the data is not the none, then we are going to read the data from our folder that you selected, and we're going to show it just like a data frame, right? So now what I can do, we can actually checking for the count, that how many value are available, and using this we can create some bar plot, right? So to do that, let's say if st dot again checkbox, and if this is, let's say, show the value count. I just wanted to show the value count, that how many value are available inside each column. So let's say show value count, okay, like that, value count, just showing the value count as just like a bar plot, right, as the bar plot. So let's say counts. Then what I can do, I am simply going to using my df.ilog the value counts, so that we actually do earlier. So I'm just going to copy this out from here, this value counts also, copy this, and I'm going to convert them in a float. So value counts dot float, okay. And inside this float, I need to give here the floats type. What kind of float that you can do? You're going to float, right? So let's say kind equal to bar float, right? I'm going to make it, let's say, bar float, okay. So counts, I mean, it should be the value counts, and inside that I'm going to give here one kind of float that's called the bar float. So for that, what I need to do, I need to give here st dot again py plot, right? Okay, that's it. So well, now what I can do, we can simply go on our browsers to checking that. So this is our browsers, and it's loaded. And if I go on the plots also, and you can see here, drag and drop the file here. So let's click to browse file, and I also add here one file here that's called a diabetes.csv. Okay, this is the quite simple one. Okay, just having 24 kb, so it is so quite a little bit data set. That's why I'm going to use it here for loading purpose. And you can see it loading, and it have the few column, but in the train.csv it have 81 column. So which one is taking much more amount of time to loading the data set? So if I click here the show value count, and you can see it will show the value counts, that how many value are available inside my data set. I mean, inside the data set, the outcome value is showing up. You can see outcome having the 0 and the 1. So using this, you can see that if the data is the imbalance or the balance, just like that. Okay, you can also click here to save the file, save as an image. You can also do that, right? So this is how the show value count actually work in cases, I mean, for the counting purposes. Okay, then now what we can do, we can simply use all kind of float that are available inside our pandas library. So for that, what I can do, we can use the df dot columns, just going to getting all the columns from our list. So let's say columns dot to list, and I am going to store it inside the variable that's called the all column. That will do all here in also the EDA part also. If I checking this out, you can see all columns just like that. Okay, so let's say all columns. Okay, columns columns. Okay, df dot columns dot to list. Then what I can do now, we are going to create here one list of the float, that how many float are available and how many float we are going to float them, right? Just like that. So let's say st dot select box. Let's say select box, and inside that, let's say uh, select floating type. Select float type. Let's time me the code. Then you can actually understand what actually happening inside it here. So I need to give here my float. I mean, how many float are available? Let's say area float, and we have the bar float, and we have the line float, right? Just like the scatter float, line float. Then we have the hist float, that's called the histogram float. Then we have line float, the histogram float. Then we have the box float also. So let's say box float. So box float, and we have the KD, that's the kernel density functions, KDE, kernel density. So that's are the float are available inside the pandas, right? So now what you can do, you can simply going to store it inside a variable. Let's call the type of plots. So let's say okay. Hey, what actually having type of float, just like that. Okay, well, so we have the type of the float, and we have all the column. Now what I can do, we can simply select all of them, right? So for that, what I can do, we can simply use the st dot multiple select. I mean, from these types of plot, you're going to select. Let's say I'm going to select the area plot. So based on the selection, it will showing the area plot of the data set. Simple, just like that. So let's say I'm going to give here one text. Let's say call select columns. Okay, just like this, to float, and I'm going to pass here my all the columns name. So let's say all columns. I'm going to pass it here, all the columns. That's it from the multiset. Now the column is selected. So let's say selected columns. Okay. Okay. So now if I save it now and go on here, and if I reload it, and if I go on here, the floats, and okay, local variable df reference before assignment, all column df dot columns dot to list. So it getting some error. Okay, let's go on here. So well, it's actually happening because of I need to put this on inside my this data is not none. So that's why it's actually giving me this kind of error. And also this checkbox is also need to be give here inside my data is not none. Otherwise it give me the error, because first it is checking for the is the data is none or not. Then it can do the operation, right? So that's why it gave me this kind of error. Okay. So now what I can do, we can also close it out. Then what I can do, if I am trying to save it and checking for here, let's say checking for here, and try to reload it now and go on the floats, and you can see now you don't have any error. Let's say browse file name, let's say data.csv, and if I'm trying to show the value count, and you can see the value count is showing up, and you can see the select floating type. Let's say I'm going to select the line float, and you can see select column to the float. I mean, how many, you can see all the columns are coming up, blood pressure. You can select any of them, then you can do the plotting, right? Line float or the bar float, whatever you can do, right? So then what you can do, let's go on here, and now I'm going to create here one button so that we can actually plot it out. So for that, what we can do, we can simply checking for that. Let's if the st dot button, just I'm going to add here a button. So when you click this button, then our plot is generated just like that. Let's say generate plot. Let's say generate plot like that. Okay, generate plot like that. Then what I can do, we can say we can give here one, let's say success. We can just give here one command that yes, plotting is I mean the plotting is generated. I plot is generated, plot is generated, plot is generated, right? Just like that. Okay. So now what we can do, we can simply checking that which types of plot is actually selected in our drop down box or the select box. So let's say I'm going to go on here. If the type of plots, I mean this type of plots, let's say is equal to area. It's just like area plot. So what I can do, we can simply go on our data set and checking for the selected column. Let's say df, and inside the df we have the selected column, I mean which column is selected, and this is the selected columns. From all the columns, is it is area plot, I mean is it any columns in our data set. So what I can do, this is nothing but our new df. So new extracted df. Okay, let's just like that, started df equal to df dot selected column. And what I can do, we can simply use here st dot area plot. So st dot area chart, and inside that we're going to passing here our new extracted df, just like that, just like that. So all are the same as it is for the all of the float, just bar float or the line float or whatever, right? So what I can do, we can simply going to copy this out, the area float, and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so just I'm going to change it out. Let's say this is nothing but one area float. Then we have our bar float, so let's say bar float. And we have our line float, so let's say line float. And then what I can do, we are going to bar area float, the bar float, and the line float. So what you can do, you can make it the bird chart, right? Bird chart, and you need to make it line chart, line chart, line chart. But in st, I mean the streamlit, the area float, the bar float, the line float is available, but the hist float, the box float, and the caddy is not available, right? So for that, you need to do something new. So let's say else. From that, we are going to simply going to copy this thing that's called a new started df, the column that is selected. Then what I can do, you're going to simply use here the float, I mean the float that actually you used earlier in the value counts also. Then inside this float, you're going to give here the floats type. So kind equal to the float types is nothing but my types of float that is actually selected, right? I'm going to pass it here. Then what I can do, we can simply call that st.write, st.write, and st.write, you're going to use it, you're going to pass here our the new extracted float. You can say df float, let's say df float, I'm going to copy this out and I'm going to paste it here. Then I'm going to use the st.py plot. st.py plot. That's it. That's it. Our code is ready right now. Our code is ready. Simple as it is. Simple as it is. Now let's go on here. These applications, and I'm going to reload it now. And better you can go on the full screen mode also. Okay. So let's say I'm selecting from the browse file. Let's select the diabetes.csv. Click here to open this file. Our file is loaded. Let's show the shape. This is our shape. Show the describe. This is the nothing but the descriptions of the dataset count, the mean, the standard deviations, mean 25%, percentile 50%, percentile, the 75%, also the maximum below. Show the columns. Columns ho show ho ja 9 columns it have. इसके बाद है show selected column. Let's I'm going to select here the glucose. I'm going to select here the skin thickness. I'm going to select here the age. Now I'm going to select here the outcome. And based on that, you can see here my new data frame is created. Cool. Then we have the show value counts. Value count show हो गया. Outcome कितना है, right? Correlation matrix, matplotlib वाला हो गया. इतना ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं है. Okay, click करते हैं यहाँ पर Seaborn वाला. शायद अच्छा होगा. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And you can see here the pregnancies, the glucose, the blood pressures, all of them are showing up. You can also add so many of them. You can add so many of them. You can click here to fill the missing value. You can for checking for the handling the categorical value. You can also add all of them. Add all of them, right? So let's go on the plots and let's click hit the browse file and let's select here the diabetes type. Click here to open and it is opening. Let's show value counts. It's showing the value counts that how many value are available for the 0 and the 1 because this is nothing but one classification problem, the outcome one, the last one. And then what I can do, you can select the plot type. Let's select column BMI. If I click here to generate plot, based on the BMI, it will generate the plot, right? Generate the plot. You can see the BMI, it will generate the plot. That's really cool. That's really cool. Let's select the glucose and click at the generate plot. And this is the area plot based on the, you can see, you can zoom in and zoom out also, right? BMI and the glucose. See how cool is it? It's the area plot. Okay. And let's checking for the bar plot also, bar plot. And let's click here to generate. Okay. You can see here nothing but this is the bar plot. And let's say based on the outcome. Click here to generate plot now. And you can see based on the outcome, it will generate one plot, right? And let's checking for the histogram. Let's generate the plot. It will showing the histogram. Hope so. Yeah, you can see the histogram, right? This was the outcome. This is the BMI. Let's say I'm going to select here another one. Let's call it skin thickness. I'm going to make the outcome close and click at a generate plot. Now let's see plot generated. You can see here based on the BMI and the skin thickness, it will generate the plot. So this is for today now, and we're actually making one full applications using the Python and Streamlit. And this is the project number 2, and this is the last project in the data visualizations series. I mean for the DRDL Python machine learning series. In the next part, you're trying to explore another Python library which one is required in machine learning, right? So hope you enjoyed this tutorial and make sure to subscribe to the channels and don't forget to hit the bell icon. And I'll be back with another tutorial. So till then, take care and bye bye.